Hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, a free way to support the channel is by leaving a like, by commenting multiple times, or by subscribing if you have not already done so. I just woke up and I had some of the craziest dreams in my entire life. I was trying to get my friend out of a library prison, but she couldn't exit, and there was something about a clown, and I was in a play, but it was really, and my brain is still a little foggy, but alas, maybe, here we are. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump right into it. It says Bitcoin price analysis. Bitcoin could recover if it clears $50,000. For some reason, over the last week, 2 weeks and a half, for some, whatever the reason might be, Bitcoin cannot pass by $50,000. It looks incredibly ridiculous to see it happening over and over and over again. You may have noticed also yesterday afternoon, Bitcoin's price was around $47,000. It began to really oddly pump out of nowhere. It hit 49,700 something and then started dribbling back down again. I'm not sure what the problem is. Maybe it's afraid of the number 5. I don't really get it. On top of that, the news is actually quite optimistic today when it comes to price activity. It says Bitcoin and Ethereum show signs of life, hurdles nearby. It's a very good way of saying the prices are moving up, but I have no idea what's going to happen afterwards. There's no actual logical reason as to why Bitcoin or Ethereum should be as low as they currently are. It's not like adoption has stopped in any sort of way over the last couple of weeks, regardless of how low the price has gone. It's actually quite the opposite. As prices continue to dip and go lower, we continue to hear that more institutions are buying up tons of cryptocurrencies every single day. I'm getting all these messages from my friends. Did you buy the dip? I bought the dip. Want to buy the dip in something dippy fashion all the time, because tons of people are still buying regardless of where the market actually currently is right now. That's all and I'm not joking either. That's all the actual price news, and I'm air quoting simply because that was it. There was nothing actually on top of that. Normally, you've been here before. We get some days where it's like, hey, Bitcoin's up by 14%, Ethereum's down by 19%. I don't know what number is supposed to be. Cardano's doing this. XRP's doing that. Can Litecoin do this? Is EOS going to do that? There was none of that today. It was just these two articles floating around because I think there's so much still uncertainty in the air just because of the planet that we currently live on. So the news of the actual day is, for those of you not looking at the screen, it says, how will the market react with the Fed meeting held today? For those of you who were not here yesterday, the Federal Reserve of the United States is expected to go on American Idol or stand on stage. I'm not exactly sure what they're supposed to be doing, but they're supposed to be announcing if they're going to continue printing quintillions of dollars, and if they're going to continue giving the money that they're printing to the securities and the bonds market to keep the market afloat, if they're going to be tapering or lowering the amount of money that they have already been giving to these markets as well. And apparently, the entire cryptocurrency market is supposed to care about this news. Not even joking. It's not that this isn't hyper significant, but we all know that they're going to continue printing money. That's how the system has been working since 2009. And I'm not talking like somebody in a YouTube video who's like, listen, the market's about to explode. No, listen, you have to understand, that's how the market actually survives. This isn't a tinfoil hat thing. It's just math and actual economics. The entire world economy has become obsessed with the idea of printing more money to actually keep it afloat. Why do you think many other times before, whenever the Federal Reserve or any other government was like, hey, we got to slow down the printing, we got to slow down so-and-so, we can't keep giving you tons of money, markets, traditional markets have reacted quite dramatically and have fallen overnight. And then usually a day and a half later, there's another meeting that they end up having, and they go, oh, sorry, it was a joke, we misspoke, we got to keep printing more money. There is no yay or nay. There's simply a yay. We have to keep printing in order to keep the entire market, once again, the traditional markets afloat, or things simply will not work out. So, also in perplexing news, I never understand why, whenever the cryptocurrency market does something fantastic, i.e. Bitcoin goes to $70,000, no problem, we get there. But as markets continue to fall down and tumble right now, Why is there a question of if we can ever pass by $50,000 again, or how the cryptocurrency market will react? Like, we were doing just fine before. Like, what major difference is there now that we can't once again pass by $70,000? I wholeheartedly believe a large portion of this because the average everyday crypto investor or investor in general is not thinking about what the Fed is doing or any other actual macroeconomic. I'm just being completely honest. They continue buying up a coin because they believe in their heart, or a friend told them through a text that they're going to make tons of money from it. That's how it actually works. These movements are completely coordinated and moved around by whales and other people who know how to manipulate the market to get other people flushed out of it. It's just how things are in the world of finance. If you are relatively new here, get ready for a ride, because that's how finance works. Not even joking. Same exact thing happens in the stock market. We've had news, I mean, for decades at this point. It's completely legal for any company who likes to short or bet against any type of stock or company to be able to release information and go, well, we don't like what they are doing. We might potentially short what they are doing because, we don't like their policies. If the company's big enough, on Monday morning, that stock ends up completely collapsing because everyone assumes that they're telling the truth and that they're going to actually sell off their stock. But guess what ends up happening? The price collapses. They buy up more stock and go, yeah, we had a change of heart. This has happened tens of thousands of times. It's just another form of manipulation. That's what every single time that our market ends up going down, I'm like, everyone pay attention, because this is the 38th time that this has happened since I've had this channel. So anyway, that's apparently the major news of the day when it comes to why the market is currently dropping down. And apparently, if the Fed keeps saying we're going to continue doing what we have to do, our market is allegedly supposed to go back up. This market makes no sense. I'm not frustrated or annoyed. This is just simply I just woke up and had weird dreams voice. But just understand, it's just the same cycle over and over again. There's also something else that we're going to be covering in the next couple of seconds, which I also then have to further explain, because it's just simply part of this, if you want to be completely honest, push poor people out of the market cycle. That's how every single market works, and it's absolutely terrible, but I didn't make the market, so yeah. Also, on top of that as well, and something that we're supposed to care about, this was also all over the place. It says senators slam stablecoins in latest push for tighter regulations. Nobody cares. For some reason, there's constant news that U.S. senators and Congress are constantly having this discussion about stablecoins, or any coin that looks like or mimics or potentially could be the next U.S. dollar, or whatever the actual case might be. There's so much news floating around that they are afraid of DeFi. Why are they afraid of DeFi? Because it completely knocks out any need for an actual player in the space. The idea is that if we have smart contracts or anything that built on top of a cryptocurrency, especially on top of their blockchain, we don't need the old legacy system. If you can have an algorithm make sure that certain X, Y, Z actually gets executed without actually having to have any human error or any human bias, well, you would use the smart contract instead. You would make sure that as long as you have the paperwork or can show the proper documentation, that you are able to get said mortgage, as opposed to being like, oh, I don't like your dress, I'm sorry, you can't get the mortgage today. This is what DeFi is actually leading up to. This is why we've also seen a number of banks also talking about integrating DeFi, because there's no need for a bank anymore. I don't know how many people need to get that through their heads. There's no need for a bank anymore. We are currently at the point in history where you are able to literally, if you still wanted to hold on to US dollars, have US dollar based stablecoins in your account, on a website, on your computer, and you're able to get more money from holding it on your computer than actually having real paper money in the bank. That's just how it goes. The smart contracts are going to take over the entire world, as is DeFi. It's just the logical conclusion to where all of this is going. But the news about stablecoins is just ridiculous. No one actually cares. In the cryptocurrency space, the only people who are using stablecoins are people who are trading cryptocurrencies. And the only people who that really then matters to are people who are trading hundreds of millions of dollars, who need the actual stablecoin liquidity for the certain stable coins that the senators or the congressional people are actually going after. And I'm pretty sure that it's just the stable coins from the companies who haven't gone to them with paperwork to say, hey, this is us. Millions of people are using our product, but we decided not to give you our information. That's all it ever comes down to. It's just control. Constantly. It's always the same. Not knocking the people who have written these articles, but it's like, please stop it. No one actually cares. Like, stable coins leaving the cryptocurrency space or at some point being hyper regulated is not going to change our market. It's not going to change Bitcoin's price. It's not going to change the way that Ethereum is slowly actually activating or being updated. It's just, I don't know what more to actually say for this. And also, to finish off the price news, everyone completely lost their minds yesterday, and I sat there and chuckled, ha 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 ha, but I assumed that everyone else also knew what was going on. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says coin market cap's glitch shows prices of cryptocurrencies in the order of several trillions of dollars per coin. It says, no, you're not rich yet. A bug on CoinMarketCap showed an absurdly high increase in the most important cryptocurrencies, affecting all crypto services that relied on its data to show fiat prices and balances. I don't know if you can see this right here. I tried to enlarge it as best I could. It shows Ethereum at, wait, that's 100,000 million billion, at $179 billion per coin. Binance coin is 33 billion. You kind of get the point. Things looked a little wacky. Everyone completely lost their minds. I saw two people message me on Twitter about it. Hello to you who messaged me about it. This happens all the time. I think maybe it's just not as long that it's in the news. I don't know how else to really phrase that. If you've ever watched to the end of one of my videos, I hope you've been watching to the end of my videos, and you see all the prices and stuff like that. Sometimes there's a glitch even on that website where it'll show, I can't even, whatever coin number 86 is, will actually pop up to coin number 1, and it'll show like a 9 million% increase. It just glitches in their actual system. So a lot of people really thought that they had struck it rich, that overnight they had, over seconds, they had become billionaires. I joked with, we were discussing it, me and my friends in our little phone group chat, and I was like, I wonder if someone cashed out, because, that would have been quite dramatic. If anyone had been on any website and was able to actually cash out of that, I assume there would have been some issues after. Anyway, yeah, super popular news. A lot of people really thought that they became crypto rich in a couple of seconds. Anyway, that's all the price news. That's everything price-wise pertaining that has happened over the last couple of hours. Anyway, without further ado, we're gonna moving on. I think this is a different tab. Is this a different tab? Yes, this is a different tab. Next up, Singapore-based cryptocurrency-focused hedge fund, as a long sentence, Three Arrows Capital has seemingly invested over $84 million in Ethereum as the price dipped below the $4,000 mark. This might sound familiar to you. It's because it's the part 2 of what we were talking about just a couple of days ago. The news was allegedly the CEO of Three Arrows Capital allegedly had said something negative about Ethereum and how he didn't like it and how he thought it was terrible and how he thought other blockchains were better. Allegedly, once again. And then we had news the very next day, a couple of hours later, that company had purchased a huge amount of Ethereum, and everybody was like, but you just spoke negatively about it. How could you have possibly bought any Ethereum? It just simply does not make any sense. And now it appears that as Ethereum has continued dipping in price, they've seemingly bought up even more Ethereum than they did before. And once again, these tweets are from the 14th of December, not from I believe the 7th or the 8th, which is the first part of the news that we had. So it's kind of weird, right, that every single time that prices dip, that rich people keep buying more. Why would they be doing that? It doesn't make any sense. You would also assume that they would be selling off their coins, but maybe there's an ulterior motive. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But, at least the rich keep getting richer because they're the only people who seem to be paying attention to anything in this market. That's the Three Arrows Capital just bought more Ethereum news. And I guess this is like the table for how much they bought. Apparently, it's now, what was the number up here? $84 million worth of Ethereum. Yeah, the exchange was on the 7th of December. That was the last time we spoke about it. So I assume if prices keep dropping, we're going to get more news that they've bought even more Ethereum, because that just seems to be the logical place at this point. All right, that's the rich people keep buying more crypto because they know what's up news. And let's move on. Also in the news, this was also and I don't want to use the word popular. I'll say it was around today. Remember a couple of weeks ago when we got news that apparently India was readying a cryptocurrency bill that was going to be shown in front of Parliament and then going to be voted on? And I told all of you, and I handed you an actual grain of salt, and I said, stop holding your breath because it's simply not going to happen. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says, breaking. Indian cryptocurrency bill might get delayed again. What? I can't believe it. Apparently, people have been looking at what's going to be on the floor of Parliament, or whatever the word actually is, in a couple of days, and the crypto bill apparently isn't there and allegedly hasn't been finalized. Why is this ridiculous? Because we got news around March or April that they had finalized the bill. Also, in completely nonsensical news, the Bank of Russia is looking to ban mutual funds from investing in cryptocurrencies. I need you to understand. Hear me out here. Sometimes the idea isn't regulation. Sometimes the idea is simply manipulation. We have gotten news from several countries multiple times that they definitely, this winter, we're going to do it. Don't you realize when I always say, isn't it a little weird that it takes 9 months for someone to write something and then another 9 months for it to potentially sit in front of the people who are on Parliament? If you really cared about something, you would simply regulate it immediately, or you make sure that you do whatever you can to try and manipulate the market. So, once again, bringing it all back, I'm going to simply assume that this is never going to actually happen. I don't think India actually has any idea of what they want to do with cryptocurrencies. They are desperately trying to hold on to their position as a potential future world power, but it's just going to continue slipping because their currency is absolute garbage. They've been having discussions before about digitizing it. I mean, please, by all means, good luck. I don't even want to get into that actual discussion because a huge portion of their population actually doesn't even have access to proper high-speed internet. So please, by all means, digitize all the money that you actually want to do and cut out a huge population. Anyway, so yeah, I told you not to hold your breath. I give it February. It seems like a pretty good time. In February, we're going to have more news that they're finishing up another draft. It's going to go like this. A couple of cryptocurrency exchanges are going to have to close down because there's no actual regulations within the country. They're going to finally announce that they have finally come to an agreement, and they've written an entire draft, and it has been approved by everyone, and everyone loves it. At some point during the middle of the year, someone, maybe the president, prime minister, I don't know, is going to announce that he doesn't like cryptocurrencies. They're absolutely terrible. Why is anyone using them? And then he's going to announce that they have a central bank digital currency coming. Now I'm just basically mimicking exactly what happened this year and last year. And then by the time we get to around autumn, we're going to get news that they have finally come to a, so-and-so, and this is going to happen in the next 2 to 3 months, that they're going to have cryptocurrency regulations. Why am I able to mimic that so properly? Because that's exactly what happened in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, and now 2021. The problem is, and if you can feel my fluster, it's because news agencies typically make sure that we know that this is news, that we hear about it, and are then told that our market could potentially go down. So I'm telling you in advance, don't be afraid whenever we get nonsense news like this. Some things will never change. Russia has had news like this since the beginning of 2017, 2018 as well. I don't know if they know, but trains exist, planes, people will simply go other places. A very strange inkling, because for those of you, once again, in 2018, 2019, we got news from one of their head economists who actually works in the Kremlin, allegedly, that Russia has been buying millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin for a very long time to actually skirt sanctions. So anyway, that's the, sure, why not news? It sounds relatively believable. Alrighty, let's move on. Next up, also in, people keep trying to talk about this news as if it's actually something, but I'm going to tell you exactly what the truth is. According to Finbold, that is FINBOLD, 10% of Cardano's top whale addresses are holding 94% of ADA's total circulating supply in the market. Roughly, The whales are controlling a threshold value of 31 billion ADA out of 33.4 billion circulating coins available, according to Coin Metrics. These statistics show that the number of ADA tokens stored in the whales' addresses have grown consistently since this year. Surprising. Years ago, we used to get tons of news like this as well for Bitcoin, but a lot of that is now, no one can really talk about it. This is happening across every single coin. Usually, I don't know, whenever these articles get written, it's usually meant as a way to, not a smear campaign, but something along the lines of a smear campaign for the actual coin, cryptocurrency, the project. Cardano, and I tell you this, I can't look you directly in your eye because it's a computer. Cardano is not the only coin, the only project where 10% of wallets are holding around 90-something% of the actual coin supply. It's also happening for Bitcoin. It's been happening for years for Ethereum. It's happened for a very long time for XRP. We've all had these articles before floating around. It's not that it is a good thing, but over the course of 5, 6, 7 years, as I've desperately been trying to get people into the cryptocurrency market, and everyone thought I was completely insane, especially for a lot of you as well. You've gone through the exact same thing. You've sat there trying to get your family members into the market, and none of them wanted to get into the market except for when things got too expensive for them to be able to buy. We've all been there. The people at the very top continue to accumulate more. Why do you think it's always such big news whenever we hear that MicroStrategy or Grayscale or whatever the third company is called, they bought up 47,000 Bitcoin in an afternoon? Why do you think that's so significant? I've told you all before. That takes away Bitcoin from around a good 400,000 something people if you were to equally divide it amongst them. If we get to a point in the future where once again Bitcoin goes to $1 million, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 million per coin, and these people have been accumulating all the Bitcoin that actually gets mined every single day, who are the richest people on the planet? They already are, but they're going to be richer. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, not that it is right. I would actually love if there were a good other 100, 500 million people, another billion people in the market who had a more equal distribution of Cardano so that they could also be in the market and also be able to profit from when prices end up going up. But this is just reality. And even more so for those of you who've never seen these articles, I implore you, on the screen, there are 6 people who hold as much money as the other half of the entire planet. 6 people. Not 5, not 4, 6 people hold the wealth of around, nearly 4 billion people? It's just how the world is. They have found, and it's even easier. The more money you have, the easier it is to even get richer. So anyway, just thought I'd throw that out there because a lot of these have been floating around for a while. And it's once again, not that I'm defending the practice, but it's more of I've told you every single time the market drops, we continue to get news that these mega companies have bought up $480 million worth of Bitcoin, $85 million worth of Ether. Where do you think all that money is going? Why do you think we keep getting all the metrics that every time prices dip, the biggest addresses become bigger and no coins have ever exited these wallets? They only continue to get bigger. Anyway, so yeah, that's the Cardano news. And let's move on. In the most popular news story of the decade, I just wish I was slightly joking. I love that there are actual rockets behind them. Jeez Louise. For those of you who didn't hear, Elon Musk recently had an interview where he was basically stating why he loves crypto, why he believes in decentralization, and why he thinks that Dogecoin is a better currency than Bitcoin. For those of you who don't know, it's basically because of the amount of circulating supply and how many people could potentially have access to it because it's very low in value. It's not that Dogecoin is better, has better technology. Dogecoin is just a mimic of actual Bitcoin, even from the actual code of it. Doesn't really matter. They're all, I call them computers. People get upset when I call them computers. I know they're all software or can be run on computers or whatever the actual case might be. The point is they can all be updated. Whatever Dogecoin can do, Bitcoin can do. Whatever Bitcoin can do, Dogecoin can do. Vice versa. All it takes is an upgrade, network consensus. It has another layer. It has another side chain. Bam. That's exactly what it is. But for some reason, I speculate myself, this is me, I assume Elon Musk has nothing better to do, and I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean it's more like why is such a huge hyper fascination in the cryptocurrency space, and why the pushing of Dogecoin? Dogecoin is a meme. I feel like Elon Musk likes to meme, and therefore this is why he's pushing it so hard. On top of that as well, after he had this actual thing as to why he explained he thought it was a better currency than Bitcoin, the world exploded. Why did the world exploded? Because Elon Musk announced that they would be accepting Dogecoin as a payment for merchandise on the Tesla website. As one might have imagined, Dogecoin's price completely exploded because anytime Elon Musk burps, the world goes crazy. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has said that Tesla will accept Dogecoin as payment for some of its merchandise. According to the Tesla CEO, the electronic car manufacturer will begin accepting Dogecoin as payment for some of its merchandise. Just read that. Tesla will make some merch buyable with Doge and see how it goes, he said in a tweet. Dogecoin jumped over 28%. I think it went up to 35% at the peak. Within minutes of the announcement, he made headlines throughout the year for endorsing the meme cryptocurrency. And also, it says, for example, in May, Musk described Dogecoin as a hustle when he was on Saturday Night Live, sending the asset price plummeting as much as 29%. No, for those of you who actually saw that episode of SNL, I watch SNL every single week. It was just bad. Like, he wasn't funny in any skit. And I just, and even more so, if you want to bring it on back, you might remember the week before he was supposed to be on SNL, the price of Dogecoin was and I mean like rocketing really hard because people assumed that he was going to go onto SNL and talk about just how amazing Dogecoin was. But he mentioned it, I think, twice. I think he called it a hustle, and his mother came out and was like, hey, am I getting Dogecoin for Christmas? Boom. That was it. And then everyone was like, he didn't talk amazingly about it. I don't understand. He likes Dogecoin so much. Why didn't the price continue to go up? That's why the price went down, because it was just a hype bubble pop. Anyway, yes. And I mean, this one really took me by surprise. Not only him announcing that he was going to be allowing Dogecoin to buy merchandise. Once again, not a car, but just merchandise on the actual platform. So I don't know what merchandise, and I'm sure somebody has been to that website. What merchandise does Tesla have? Is it like t-shirts? Is it like flip-flops? Is it like hats? I feel like I'm like roughly in the exact area of where it's going to be. So that's the most popular news story of the year. Cool. Wonderful, amazing. I always forget my phone. Oh boy. Oh, okay, right here already. Look at me. Alrighty, let's move on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Jamie Saad, Blockchain Simplified, and let's move on, Chris, Hakeem Wilkins, Empire Queen, Staker with Valor, Fudd, Wiser, Mortified, Roman, Gaba, Bitcoin, Ben Arachno, Dave, Tony, Ambroski, the dealers in Red Plum, Tomato, Umnu, Wish, Nikki, the letter M, Not Brain, Captain Something in the Z-Way, Crypto, Black Sheep, AJ, Cut 5, Speedy 655, and Colors was like Mobirazzi, Jojo, Shaw Show, VB Nerd, 21, Miguel Grole, Lauren, Silva, Quarter Bitty, Bare Bones, Mining, Troy, All Good, Space, KT, the Miracle, Paternoster, Koninoski, Blade Day, Snacky Chan, Tolik, Banana, Suspicious, Agile, and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha, Haradi, Utopia 569, Moonman, High, XRP, Martin, Stoyo, Nostromo, John Sarson, the Animal Reader, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Grace, Mohan, Roni, Massive Ventures, and Talent, Jarrison, Wise Night, Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cold D3D, Damien, Setsuna, Rich Richard, Vladian, Pillar, Paxis, Nick Mangela, what a Jim got a Jimmy Fox, Minty, Cause, Million, Chester, Kasi, Lede, Yes to Crypto, Body, Make Butterface, anytime it is March, gonna staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigra, Macho, Nisa, All Crypto with Lana, Krilla, Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your continued support. Thank you to all the new Patreon members. More and more of you every single day. I do thank you for being nice. It's a very nice thing to do to support me on Patreon. Thank you to everyone who left a like, comments, or has subscribed, or is new here, or is still here listening to me talk about Elon Musk. Like, what absolute nonsense. When Dogecoin can skyrocket because this man is going to be selling t-shirts, and we have multi-billion, trillion-dollar companies buying up tons of Bitcoin and the price goes down, Twilight Zone. Like, I just want to understand some kind of logic at this point in the universe. At the moment, Bitcoin is currently up by 2.49%. Here's all the wacky movements that we've been seeing over the course of the last 24 hours. I don't know what's going to happen with the Fed. I don't know what they're going to say. I can only assumption. However, universe help us all if we get to the point where Bitcoin just starts falling down because the Fed is like, we're going to taper $1. I don't know. It seems believable. Ethereum is currently up by 1.93%. Solana is up by 6%. Dogecoin is up by 12.85%. Here's the actual pop-up right here during the t-shirt announcement. Avalanche, ironically, is up by 13%. Shiba Inu is up by 2%. I assume that's all. Yo, that was a mimic pump. That was definitely a mimic pump. Litecoin is up by 2%. Matic is up by 7.9%. Unicorns are up by 3%. OKB is up by 4%. Near Protocol is up by 7%. Iran L Gold E-Gold is up by 16 percentile points as well. Anything else crazy? Hedera Bar, Hashbar, Graph Bar is up by 7.9%, 7.4%. Phantom is up by 4%. Monero is up by 2%. Pancakes are up by 12%. I wanted to say 65 because I was looking at the 65 first. And the Graph is up by 5%. And IOTA is by the skin of its teeth. I mean, really, $27 million in trading volume hanging in there. I mean, listen, you got to give it to them at this point. They've done extremely well with no news, no hype. They refuse to leave number 48 or number 50. But alas, anyway, yeah. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you are all having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, a great week, a great life. I hope everything's going well. Make sure to, I don't know what I'm saying there. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. I feel like I need to take another nap or something. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.